All right, let's just say it. If you're not embracing tech as a realtor right now, you're not just behind, you're kind of invisible.
Yeah, yikes. That stings a little bit. And she's 100% correct, right? It's not just about selling homes, it's about getting left behind by agents who are utilizing technology, things like AI, video, automation. They're no longer optional. These are things that it's like a requirement. It would be like not knowing how to use email in 2025.
Yeah, that's some perspective. And we're not saying that you need to become like, what is it, selling sunsets or be a Netflix agent and just go full into video or something like that. It's not that at all. It's just about using smart tools to buy back your human time and show up bigger and actually, like Christy said, can enjoy your business again. Um, that's what being a tech forward agent is all about.
Yeah. So again, not a tech wizard overnight, but if you've ever said, "Oh, I'm just not that techie," or "I don't like video," do you remember our videographer who would always tell me? He'd be like, "It's just your face.
Yeah, he was really gentle. Yeah,
It's just your face." I'm
it's
like,
just
"I
your
know, and I don't
face.
like it. Thanks."
Well, that's how you sound.
Exactly. So by the end of this episode, we are going to handle a mindset shift. And we're going to give you some options so that if you've been avoiding tech, you can jump in and get started and win. So let's start with part one. We're going to talk about the tech tsunami. According to NAR, in their research that they did, this was from their 2023 survey, 87% of home buyers were using some form of an online tool to search. And we actually see similar data coming out for sellers, that agents who are utilizing video and who are utilizing technology, they are winning against agents who are not. In fact, 68% of the agents who were using some form of video in their marketing saw more engagement. And you will absolutely know it to be true that agents who are utilizing video are having far greater reach than the agents who are not utilizing video.
Yeah, totally. And it's not really that surprising. I mean, think about how we as consumers like to shop online or just shop in general now, whether it's for Amazon type things or even like I just thought of, I don't love comparing real estate to car sales, but think about Carvana. They changed the way that you bought and sold a car. And that's what buyers are expecting. They're expecting that Amazon level speed, instant responses, a sleek digital experience, but things that still make it feel personal. And if you're still fumbling through like manual follow-ups or outdated websites that take you to a, uh-oh, this page is broken, then that's no bueno. That's no bueno, folks.
Well, and it's not. Here's the other hard part. It's not just about you using technology. So maybe you're okay with like, oh, I don't need to know how to use, my phone, or I don't need how to do that. I'm really good with people. Okay, but your competitors are already using AI. In fact, I got a text message this week. I'm not going to disclose their name, but it is so good that I'm going to read it to you. So this is how your competitors are using AI. Actually, forgot I copied and pasted it right here. So it says, had to share with you because this is my win for the week. Our website's AI chatbot booked its first appointment yesterday with a transfer to Follow Up Boss to an agent on our team. Our agent confirmed the showing and it's happening tonight. Don't sleep on AI chatbots for your website. We're actually
Dang.
using QR codes. Yeah, so it takes it even further. We're using QR code signs next to our listings to allow the public to scan as they drive by. It lands them. They create a custom landing page for each listing. It lands them to the listing, and then their AI chatbot interacts and can set up a showing.
That's very cool.
But by all means, like you don't need to know how to use AI.
Well, and it's so funny because the thing I thought about was the person saying, I'm really good with people. I don't need technology or AI. The agent using AI might also be really good with people.
You need both, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
You can't, my friend David says you can't automate relationships, and I do believe that there's a very
hmm
human element, and that should actually make everybody feel good. Don't panic, right? I'm not predicting that AI is going to take your job, but the agents who are utilizing AI will, right? The technology is not the villain. It's just the people who are using it have an unfair advantage, and I want everybody to have that. So
yep.
technology is no longer optional. It's how top agents deliver faster, smarter, better service, and everybody needs to do that. So we're going to dive into just three areas of tech. We'll call it the big three. We're going to talk about AI, video, and automation. Why don't we start with AI? And Kelcie, you can like get us started. What is AI, and what are some of the tools that agents should absolutely have in their tool belt?
Yeah. One of my favorite things to say, to remind people of, and maybe it's controversial, but and maybe you might not agree with me, but AI sure is labeled as like artificial intelligence, but really people, it's automated intelligence. It's not coming up with its own idea. It's not a sentient being, despite what, the trolls on Instagram might say. It's just quicker than you, gathering all of the data and intel on the internet and coming up with an intelligent response based off of what you asked it to find. So think about tools like the big one is ChatGPT, but there's also Grok, there's Perplexity. For real estate specific, there's Tom Ferry's Revy. These things, these robots, these machines, they help you to predict behavior, automate responses, and actually personalize your outreach at scale. And you might not even realize how much AI is built into the systems that you already use. You're just not realizing it.
Yeah,
Uh,
like Alexa. Oops, now she's going to start talking to us, right?
yeah.
Siri. What is Google's version? Hey Google,
Hey
I think.
Google, she's got a name. I don't.
Oh, does she? Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
yeah, I mean, we've been using it. We just didn't know.
Yeah, and a great place to start is by borrowing other people's. Okay, so like all of these things, you can't just enter in some like you know give me an idea for an Instagram post. You're not
Oh,
gonna,
okay, yeah.
you're
I
not
get what you're
gonna,
saying.
get great things out of a lame prompt.
I hear that all the time, Kelsey. Like agents will say, so I think what you're saying is like garbage in, garbage out.
hmm
So agents will say, oh, I tried using AI to help me and it just didn't sound very good. Oh, it didn't sound like me.
hmm
How can
Surprise,
they
surprise.
how can they get over that?
Yeah. The best thing to start with is by borrowing what other people are using. I make sure that I follow one or two pages on Instagram that are ChatGPT, which is the one I mainly use, their hacks and their different prompts, and also things that people are realizing, like the M dash. Okay, as somebody who is a writer and loves these little fun things in pronunciation or punctuation and everything, when I saw that apparently using an M dash is a dead giveaway for AI, I was like, but I love an M dash, but I'm not going to. And when I use AI, yeah, it's obvious it's there, and I'm trying to stay on top of what other people are noticing is AI or not, what feels authentic or not. And so I'll remove it or I'll make it very, very unique. But I wouldn't have known that without having that information in front of me. So, first thing is find a page that is hacks for AI, for specifically prompts, and see what other people are using. There's free GPTs out there too that are specific to what you're looking for. So start borrowing other people's prompts, but the next level agent customizes their GPT to fit their personality. Like Kristi was saying, people are like, this doesn't sound like me, or I never use Hence or Nestle or, let's dive in. And yeah,
Quaint.
right. Yeah. And you don't, and that's okay. So tell it that you don't. And tell it the words that you like to use or the verbiage that you use. And there's tools out there as well. And this may be a bit more advanced, but where you can upload your audio or your video and it will learn what your patterns of speech are, what your preferred words are.
Let's drop that in. I have a prompt to help you train your chat GPT to sound like you.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll drop that into the resources.
Yeah. So that's where I would start with AI.
Okay, so you mentioned some really good tools. So she mentioned Grok, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Tom Ferry's Revy, and you may be thinking that's a lot of different tools. We didn't even talk about Claude.
Oh
there's
yeah.
there's so
Wow.
many different ones, but here's what I would say. A couple of my favorite things. So again, we're just talking AI. A couple of my favorite things to do is content creation. So Kelcie mentioned content creation. I really like Grok. So that's X's AI. I really like Grok when I want to get consumer sentiment because it's the only one that's connected to social media. And it's a little bit spunky and fun. So I like to do that when I'm doing research on like my email newsletter. I find that I like Grok's output for that. But when I'm creating content, I like to do that in ChatGPT. If I am wanting to write code and create artifacts, I do that in Claude. If I'm searching anything, I just use Perplexity. Like Perplexity is my search tool. Instead of Google, I use Perplexity. Role playing. That's
Mhm.
something I love role playing in Revy. Revy, because it's specifically built for real estate agents. I love role playing in Revy. It's got all the best objection handlers. You can, if you want to do difficult, you want to do easy, you can choose to be a buyer or a seller. You could be the agent. There's so many different ways that you can do that. Brainstorming. I love brainstorming with Perplexity because, again, that's search. I like to be challenged by my AI as well. If you want to do a brainstorm, a marketing plan, a business plan, goal setting, any type of, obviously, they all will help you with like analyzing things, summarizing things, a lot of different things like that. But with AI, find one area that you can use it. Honestly, it is so fascinating. I have this plant right here. I gave the AI a picture of my plant because the leaves were dying and it like gave me solutions.
I love that.
I never would have thought a year ago to use it like that. So here's the thing. If you are using any type of AI, large language model, just to write your listing descriptions, it's a great start. And I challenge you to take it a little bit further. The best thing you could do would be to spend probably 30 minutes to an hour at least with one of these tools. Just go in, be curious, and get started. Make sure they're on your phone, right? So download it on your phone, have them bookmark, and think, how could AI help me do this better, faster, and save me time?
Hmm. Yep. Even if it's just getting 80% of the work done, then the 20% is making sure it sounds like you and it's authentic. Okay, speaking of authenticity, our next big in their three is video. Uh, it's just really, it's a great rule of thumb that if people can't see your face, they won't feel your value. Value or video face to face builds trusts and trust closes deals, right? One of my favorite studies was done in 1970 by Dr. Albert Mehrabian, I think is how you say his name. But he did the three elements of communication, which are body language, voice, and words. When we communicate face to face, we pass the information and understanding through those three elements. And it's not, you might be surprised to find that the message isn't communicated equally across all three elements. They're really, really different. So this doctor, he found that body language accounts for 55% of the communication. Exactly. Body language. Uh, voice was 38. So your tonality, your pitch, your volume of your voice. Some people don't love to be yelled at. And then amazingly, that leaves us 7% of the actual words that make up our message communicate. And this is really surprising for some people because they think that words make up the most of the communication, but really it's the visible things we show that communicates the most of the message. And that's where people's perceptions are coming from, which build trust, right?
Yeah. man, video, like I've been a real estate agent for over a decade, and we have been talking about this for a decade and probably even longer. I wasn't utilizing video. Well, I mean, I sold textbooks and I worked with teachers. I had a Facebook account, so wasn't using social media in our business at the time because, again, selling textbooks, that wasn't a thing.
Right.
But as soon as I became a real estate agent, I was like, oh, I need to use social media for my business. And at the time, Facebook had just released the live button, as Tom would say,
Um,
the LIVE, right? And it was like, just go live, just go live. And honestly, I was very intimidated with video. But if you think about video a decade ago, I had a BlackBerry. So it
mm,
wasn't like I had video on my phone, or we
yeah.
had like really poor quality, small, but then I remember getting my first iPhone and I was like, oh, okay, right? And that's what I would say. Like for anybody with video, your phone is going to do amazing. We have a client in Texas, Michael McCall. He is absolutely crushing it via YouTube, and he
Mm,
films everything on his iPhone.
mm,
Like he did a case study for us. It cost him like a total of $3,000, and he made over $300,000 in GCI just from using video. And all he does is uses his phone, and he uses the free version of CapCut.
nice.
And so the moral of the story is, if you're not using video, you're definitely like, just think about you get a referral. Okay, what's the first thing that a person does when they get a referral for somebody?
Googles.
Yeah, so then someone Googles you, and you have no social, you have no video, so that they can't feel like they can know you.
Hmm.
But meanwhile, they're getting retargeted YouTube ads from the neighborhood realtor.
Hmm.
Like if you're not using video in your business in some way, shape, or form, you're really being left behind. And I worry about you. Like it's not even an option; it's a must now.
Yeah.
So I would say the take it and run moment for that is like, just start with where you are with something that you feel comfortable with, something behind the scenes, maybe a market update. You don't have to be fully scripted. You just need to talk about things that you feel comfortable talking about and are passionate about. And that's just getting the phone up, and even if it's live, don't overthink it. I kind of have a rule for myself. I will only allow myself to record something 3 times, and then I'm like, nope, I'm over it, because I'll pick it apart and pick it apart and pick it apart. So do it scared, do it anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just kind of makes me think, I had this thought while you were talking about this is, do it and make it better later, right? And it makes me think of like before this podcast, before we hit record, we were pulling our hair out trying to figure out audio. We were trying to make it right. And we were talking even before that eventually we want to have a better setup and have a better process. But imagine if we had waited until everything was perfect in order to do all those things, we wouldn't be at episode 7 and we wouldn't be just okay with how things are going. And you just have to swallow that part of you that's like screaming and yelling that it's not perfect and you should wait.
Yep. Done is better than perfect. Okay. Let's talk about automation, which is the last of the three. So think of automation as your sanity saver. It's things like social media schedulers, email campaigns, automated text messages, and reminders. Let the robots handle the mundane over and over and over again. And Kelcie mentioned at the top of the episode, it's all about protecting your human time. That's why I'm so passionate about CRMs. I don't know how agents don't have a CRM. And I know it works for some people, but a spreadsheet can't automate, right? Like you have to have a CRM to bring automation. Even simple automations of like, well, actually, Kelcie, you run the back end of the team and all of that. So I'll let you kind of put in there. But like we use tools like Zapier and NAN and IFTTT and Monday and Asana. And those are some really heavy lifting tools. And even for me, some of the stuff I'm probably not going to learn how to use NAN. I'm just going to hire someone who knows how to use it. But I know that the tools exist and I know what they do. Kelcie, as you know, operations and kind of running all of the tech behind the scenes, what are some simple, easy tools that real estate agents should be aware of in automation and what it could do for their business?
Yeah, and automation, think of it not as this like big old assembly line machine in the meta cloud doing things for you. It's just simple, set it up one time, like rules basically that you can copy and paste sometimes, or like something as simple as an email template. This is where automating kind of started for me, is when we get a new listing or a new buyer, automating those templates. So coming up with what I'm going to say and little, pockets to fill in the personalized details and having those ready in my Gmail. You can save them as templates. Um, Same with if you run a team, if you have a new listing, but none of the marketing is done yet, the broker file isn't done yet, you can automate an email to go out to your TC, maybe if you've got one, and with like, new listing, something like that. And behind the scenes, IFTTT or Zapier sets up an automatic email when it's triggered by that new word to send them a form. And that form completes everything that the marketing person, the listing coordinator needs to know for the marketing. Does it have, are we going to need twilight photos? Are we going to need aerial? Is it occupied? What's the lockbox code? All those things, that's those back and forth emails that you're probably in a showing and your transaction coordinator needs to know the information for, and then it's like saving that hour that they've been waiting around. Maybe you think about those little things where if they just send you an email with a specific phrase, it sends them that form and they fill it out. um, Call routing. So if you are sick of your phone blowing up and not knowing if it's a listing, if it's like from a sign call or from a Google or referral or spam, and you're just so sick of it and you're not answering your phone, you're probably missing opportunities. So having a system like CallRail where you can assign phone numbers for certain lead sources, and then they show up on your phone as, oh, sign call, I'm getting a sign call. That must save so much mental sanity. And just like Kristi mentioned, your CRM probably has so much automated capacity and capabilities that you're not using in terms of action plans and um, just those little if this then that steps that can just take away a lot of your manual follow-up, especially if it's an email or a text message that'll go out, having that been done for you, and then all of a sudden you have an appointment.
Okay, so this week, what I would do is I would recommend that you figure out something that could be done automatic, some sort of a trigger inside of your CRM. CRM is a great place to start with automation. Email is also another great way. I mean, I have things that skip my inbox and go right into a folder. I have things that when they're emailed to me, they automatically get forwarded to Kelcie. There's just lots of little nice tools that you can use to have a more efficient process and to gain back time. And whether you want to reinvest that time back into your business or you want to reinvest it into your health and into your hobbies, it doesn't matter. At least you get the option because you're more efficient.
Yep.
So let's talk about mindset before we wrap up this episode.
Yeah. So if the words, like Kristi said earlier, I'm just not good with tech, or AI scares me, or I don't look good on video, have ever left your mouth, just pause. It's not a personality trait. It's a limiting belief.
Yeah. So think about other times in your life that you learned something. You know what I mean? We all start out somewhere. You learned how to do scripts. You learned how to write a contract, a purchase contract. You learned how to negotiate. Your tech, you're not stuck at the current tech level that you're at. It's just your next skill set that you're working on, right? And it's going to take some practice and you're going to have to do it. The cool thing is a lot of this stuff is free. Many of the tools are free. You can set up a free ChatGPT account.
Mm-hmm.
CapCut is free. You just have to be curious. I mentioned earlier, you're going to have to probably do it scared and just kind of move forward. And I think back to when I first started video forever ago, I had no idea what I would say. I was so nervous. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I sounded. Heck, half the time I still don't like the way that I look and that I sound. But the coolest thing happened to me. So most recently, I was telling Kelcie that I was doing an event in Fresno, and this gentleman, his name was Noe, he came up and he said, I watched one of your webinars and I implemented one thing that you mentioned, and it's completely changed my business. That's why I do video. That's why I do webinars, is because I'm trying to help agents take action and have a better business. And if I never got started, if I didn't just do it scared and do it anyways, I probably would still be over obsessing and no content would have gotten out. I think I think Tom says something along the lines of like, my crappy video outperforms your no video.
Yeah, I love that.
So let's talk about the cost of staying stuck, Kelcie. What happens if they don't embrace AI, video, and automation?
Yeah, kind of like Kristi alluded to earlier, imagine you get a referral. The first thing that buyer or seller does is Google you and see diddly squat. But meanwhile, they're getting retargeted by YouTube ads from the neighborhood specialist. And why would
Yeah,
they work with you?
no, I mean, you you want it's kind of like professional photos. I remember 10 years ago when we got started, there were still a lot of agents that weren't doing professional photos. They were just taking cell phone photos, or maybe they had a great nice Nikon camera or something like that, but they're not photographers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, they don't know how to shoot a home, to, you know what I mean? That's how I look at video now. It's just not even optional. So it really isn't even about technology replacing real estate agents. It's about tech enabled or tech empowered agents replacing agents who are not using technology.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you should identify, a couple tools that you want to learn, go deeper with them, fine tune what it is. There are some things that I download, I try, and I'm like, it's not for me, and I find something better. The technology is moving so quickly. I understand that it can feel overwhelming, but that's where that growth mindset is really gonna kick in. You just need to dedicate some time. So let's come up with an action plan. Kelcie and I decided that we wanted to give you a take it and run action plan. So 3 steps. 1, pick a tool, whether it's a chat GPT or a video tool or an automation, something, right? Block an hour a week. Watch a tutorial, watch a video, test a feature, play around, and then implement it. Don't just learn, take what you learn and try it out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And don't wait until you feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. Just action brings clarity. Nothing but action brings clarity. So done is better than perfect.
And we would love to hear what you guys are implementing. Definitely message us. We'd love to highlight you and feature you, as we've kind of featured a couple different people. So if you've learned anything from today, we know that agents who are thriving in 2025 and beyond, they're the ones that maybe don't even have the most experience. They're just the ones that are adapting fast. When we interview agents for the team, one of the things that we look for is adaptability, because believe it or not, like, as soon as you find a tool that you love and you use, your MLS will switch it on you. Do you remember when they moved us from zip forms to transaction desk?
Yeah.
Right? Do you remember when they moved us from showing time to aligned showings? Right? Like, we didn't even get a say in that. I know we did through our board and all that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, the technology is going to change, your favorite tools are going to change, you're going to log in one day and the whole interface is going to be different, but you just need to adapt and move forward.
Yep. You've got it. We believe in your ability to learn, evolve, and lead. So maybe just have a little AI assist there with you.
Okay, we've given you the tools, we've given you the plan, and now it's your turn to take it and run.